What's up, guys, gals? It's Griever back here, bringing you guys another review of Legend of Zelda manga review for volume number 6. This particular volume, as you can see, is very small. It's very short, right? And it's the same amount of content, same amount of beautiful artwork, all that fun jazz. But the thing is that this follows two key things, and that's it. Two key moments that pretty much one happens in-game, the other one is not canon from Twilight Princess. So I'm expecting Volume 7 to be quite a bit larger, similar, maybe not as big as Volume 5, the previous volume, but suffice it to say, this has me so damn intrigued. Remember when I told you guys about the fact that the Golden Wolf, or the White Wolf, is of course the hero of time. The hero Shade is the hero of time from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Him being the one who went back in time, sent back in time by Zelda at the end of the game, and then he did the adventures in Majora's Mask, but he was never recognized. He was no longer the hero of time, though he was. It was one of those weird time paradox things, right? So, the thing is, in this series, and I've talked about this throughout all the reviews, this is the first time we've truly seen a desperate Link. A Link that is unsure of himself, a scared Link, a Link that is not just automatically courageous and confident and ready to do what needs to be done. You know, a battle-hardened warrior. That's not what we have here. Our Link in Twilight Princess is a scared, vulnerable, I'm not sure I can do this, doubting Link. He's filled with anxiety and stress and unsure of himself throughout the series. Now, at this point, in the last volume, he obtained the Master Sword, right? And that was a big moment and such. Here, they go to the Snow Temple and all that stuff up on the mountains. They meet the Yetis. They do that kind of thing, right? And they nearly get the shard. But then, after all this is where we have a different turning point in the game. Midna chooses to leave Link, because Link is acting, and she blatantly says it. It's not just shown to us. It's shown to us, and it's also stated multiple times in this particular volume that Link, after obtaining the Master Sword, he feels invincible. He feels so strong because the Master Sword is, of course, granting him all this power. And he's finding battles easier. Like, every time he swings his sword, he wins. He's not having as much, he's not struggling anymore. Every battle isn't a life or death I could lose and I struggle to beat every opponent battle. This is with this sword and me chosen by the gods, he becomes zealous. He becomes like a fanatic. I was chosen, he believes in his own pride. He's, as Midna points out, you're swallowing in your own pride. You're drinking in on your own pride. What's this whole chosen by the gods thing? You barely even believed in the gods before this. Before you obtained this sword, before all this stuff happened, when you were told you're the hero of destiny, you still were filled with doubt and stuff. Now all of a sudden you're filled with self-importance. You believe that because you're chosen by the gods, you cannot die. You cannot be touched. You're destined to win, so you could basically, by Link's own logic, he could just sit back and relax. Don't worry about it. I can win. I'm the hero, chosen by the gods. You know, he's got this totally arrogant attitude. Where it came from is a little abrupt, because as far as we could tell, he never actually touched the mirror. And that's what Midna was afraid of. Because we saw what the mirror did, of course, to the Yeti mother and all that such, or the Yeti wife. But it doesn't appear that he touched the mirror. I might have missed that, where he actually did nick it or something, and maybe that's where this started to come from. But, I mean, he kind of started to go over the deep end a little bit, and then it just got worse after Midna tries to talk to him about it, and he goes on this path of he's gone from not being confident to being cocky. He's done a total change of pace. And it's scaring Midna, and it's like, no, we got to separate for a while. This isn't you. This isn't, I will not fail on my mission. My mission is to banish evil and all this such. And he's become a zealot after listening to the sages talk. So it's very, very strange the very vast change in Link. It was a little abrupt, I'll admit, but it sets up this battle against Dark Link. We get a reappearance of Dark Link, and it's really, really cool. Apparently, it's all within his mind. It's very interesting. There's this whole thing with Zant and basically warping a space of time and space where they're heading towards the castle after, you know, the first mirror shard and all that stuff, and in the snow temple. And then he's crashing through enemies, he's beating them down, he's cutting them down like it's no problem. More Master Sword, give me more power. Fighting is fun, fighting is easy. He's giving into his bloodlust and his pride, and he's enjoying the fight. He's becoming a Kenpachi Zaraki sort of character, and he's reveling in it. And that's when, of course, the boss Moblin from the Bridge of Elden comes up, and he cuts him down like it's no problem. That's when he's faced with his own shadow. Dark Link shows up, and of course the mirroring happens and stuff. You can't defeat the true Master Sword. Once again, his arrogance and his pride, and he continues to strike in anger and frustration and all these negative emotions until the point where he finally manages to stab through Dark Link, and we see the contorted evil on his face and the menacing, you know, the evil on Link's face in these shots is just a perfect representation of how far he has fallen. And then when he finally defeats Dark Link, he realizes he himself is bleeding. He's killed himself. He's stabbed himself. The Master Sword only banishes evil. You know, it can't be done. It's implied that the manifestation of his own heart was caused by Zant. Like the kind of the sort of like a Gotha thing from Seven Deadly Sins, Nightmare Teller sort of idea. He was placed in this globe of darkness and living a kind of an illusion. However, after he gets out of that, after he wakes semi from this nightmare, he's still in there, Zant kind of watching him going, this has been priceless, cackling, going, you know, oh, holy, you know, warrior of thou, like, don't make me laugh. Look at, you're fighting your own demons, you know, implying that the Link from Volume 1 or 2 might not have fallen so deep into this nightmare and this illusion, this very dark magic, had he not gotten, like the darkness in his heart is spreading, it seems. It's definitely not a good thing. And so I'm this is just my own speculation, but I believe that Dark Link scenario was created by the nightmare magic that Zant was using. But as Zant clearly states, is that after Link wakes up from this nightmare, he doesn't have the wound, he didn't actually stab himself and such, it was just the nightmare. But it's more than a nightmare. It's actually kind of like looking inwards. It's kind of like using the dark vestiges, the evil in your heart, and making it manifest in your mind. And so that battle of wills showcased how far he has fallen, and this is still fact, though created by Zant, it's still relevant to how he is and how his heart has been swayed over this arrogance and pride, and how the darkness is starting to take Link. And this can only happen. This is very well done with the Link from this manga, the Link from Twilight Princess, who is not confident, unsure, filled with stress and doubt. It makes sense that once he's not used to being confident, and once he started to realize all his accomplishments, and once he started to gain some real power, he got drunk off of it. So this is a really good interpretation of that fact. And then after this, Zant states when he tries to fight him, you know, of course he's exhausted from, you know, the mental fortitude and the mental exhaustion, but he tries to pick up the sword, but the sword itself, it has become so heavy, reminding me very much of Inuyasha, where the sword became way too heavy for him to wield after a time. And it was like, why can't, like, it's so heavy, why won't you obey my call, why won't you? Because, once again, the darkness in his heart, it's the sword of evil's bane. So if there's too much darkness in a hero's heart, though chosen by the gods and chosen by the Master Sword, if the wielder of the Master Sword goes too far, it will fight against its master. The sword and the hero need to be as one. They need to be of same heart and soul to resonate properly. And here we're seeing how the Master Sword is slowly rejecting, even though Link might be the hero, chosen by the gods, chosen by the Master Sword, chosen by destiny. If he falls down the wrong path too far, even the Master Sword will not respond. So we're seeing that here. He can't fight against Link, or Zant, sorry. Link can't fight against Zant. He's failing miserably because the sword is too heavy. Zant is toying with him, blowing him to bits pretty much. And then at the end, we see him laying there prostrate on the ground, unable to do anything, knocked out, Master Sword in hand. He manages to hold on to it, but Link was unable to do a thing. Meanwhile, pages ago, he said, "Take me to your boss. I'm going to slay him right now," because he was so filled with confidence. And here we're seeing, well, no. This is when the veteran hero, the hero of time, shows up in golden fur form, cracks through this sphere of black space, as Zant says, and crashes through it, biting Zant, grappling him, chewing his mouthpiece off, throwing it to bits, and guarding Link. That's when Zant himself is fearful of this wolf. He's like, he stutters, he seems to be afraid. He says, you were with Princess Midna. Who are you? So Zant does not know who the Golden Protector is. He does not know who the wolf is. If he did, he'd probably be literally running away right now if he realized that's the hero of time. That's the guy who beat my god beforehand. Like, if he knew the whole history of Ocarina of Time, then he would be running back to Ganondorf and saying, "Listen, you know the dude who defeated you like 100 years ago? He back, and I'm terrified, and no matter how much magic you gave me, he beat you." So, like, that would be the case, right? So, as I said before, I believe in the last review and in the first volume review, when this all went down, he doesn't have the Master Sword, Triforce of Courage. He's in a wolf form only. So the hero of time is unable to, he's not exactly at full power, but even so, he's got enough strength to fight back Zant, pick up Link pretty much, and carry him off. And that's when Zant basically tells the Golden Wolf what has happened pretty much. He goes, "It wasn't me who did anything to him. You know, he did it to himself. The darkness in that boy's heart." You know, sort of idea. So our hero of time, Link, the Golden Wolf, looks down on Link, picks him up, and carries him off. That's unfortunately the end of the volume, because now I want to see, I really, really hope, I'm hoping that potentially, like, the hero shade thing, I think he could have looked cooler. I don't get the helmet and stuff. Like, why doesn't he... I mean, I know that Nintendo was not trying to be too obvious with it, and it was supposed to be subtle nostalgia hints for us, the fan base, but I really, really want in the manga, where, I mean, they showcase Dark Link for, you know, a big yay from the fans and stuff like that, right? I'm hoping that maybe, I don't know, by the end of the manga, but I feel like they need to have a true conversation, and Link needs to talk to the hero of time. Not the hero shade, not the Golden Wolf. He needs to talk to the hero of time. So I'm hoping that somehow, like, he's like, "I shall reveal my true form," sort of idea. Combine the Golden Wolf with the hero shade into one sort of idea. Or say, "Let's go into the darkness realm where I can show you," you know, or something. I don't care how they explain it away. I just feel like we should see the ghost of our old hero, like, that was drawn in the Ocarina of Time manga, and they should have basically a sit down and a talk. And he should basically probably punch him in the face or something and just be like, "Don't be so arrogant," you know? Give him a tough lesson sort of idea. I'm probably expecting too much. As I said, I still think we will see our hero time by the end of the Twilight Princess manga. Maybe looking on as a ghost or a, you know, spirit or something like that. But I'm really hoping to see a very nice long, when he carries Link off and Link wakes up, I'm hoping to have a nice big long conversation about what he did wrong, why the Master Sword is treating the way it is, and basically give Link the real wake-up call. And maybe get some lore and some history and such. I would just really like a nice, long, lengthy dialogue between our hero of time and our current Link, the hero of destiny, so to speak. So, either way, guys, volume 6 was short but sweet. We got a lot of nostalgia pandering with the Dark Link thing, taken in a direction, like, as I said, it was very abrupt. I said at the beginning of the review that I thought maybe it was a little like out of left field, but when you think about it, I've already explained it away in this very review, that the moment our naive, this wouldn't have happened to other Links who were already confident, already warriors, already believed that what they were doing was right and just had to basically grow some balls and get it done. This Link has been timid and not cowardly, but certainly not necessarily filled with confidence, courage, and bravery. This is an unsure hero that doesn't necessarily believe in the gods or believe in his destiny or anything like that. And I keep harping on that point because now it's making a lot more sense why the moment he got an ounce of real power, true power, he's gone from one extreme to the other. And that's just his personality. And it works really, really, really well for storytelling. This volume, as I said, is short but sweet. But it's leading us into a really great Volume 7. I'm unsure if Volume 7 is out or when it's coming out. I'll have to look that up. But either way, when I get that, of course, I'll have a Volume 7 review up. But as far as I'm concerned, we are now up to date with the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess manga. Really, really great. I hope you guys are staying safe and such. But if you can order this online, if you haven't read it and such, I mean, I know stores are slowly opening here in the West. But either way, I hope you guys will consider picking up a volume of this if you haven't already. Pick up the whole series. It's so well done, really well handled, and honestly, at certain points, I like it better than the game itself. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Griever. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you back here next time for the next video, and of course, when Volume 7, when I finally get it. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you back here next time.